Hello, my friends. It's Jana Eubank. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel again today. I have been having so much fun scrapbooking and making process videos for you and for me too. It's been a lot of fun for me. And I just want to thank you for coming by to take a look and hang out with me for about 15 minutes. And I hope that you leave feeling inspired to try some new things or to just get in your craft room and have some fun. Now today I'm working with some photos of my daughter at her prom several years ago, and I love that she's in that bright blue dress. I thought it really pulled out these colors from this January Hip Kit Club with the dark blue accents. So the idea for this page is that I'm starting with a 6x9 piece of that teal geometric pattern, and now I'm just choosing a variety of the other patterns in the kit to layer up in strips along that teal grid strip or teal geometric strip. So I'm first starting with this lined paper, or these color blocked lines, I guess you would call it, which I love. I love that it pulls together all the colors of the kit. And now I'm going one by one and just selecting more patterns. Now, some people really struggle with combining patterns, and I just want to give you a few tips as I do this. One thing I like to do is just do a variety of scales and colors, of course. So you can see that I started with that geometric teal, and then I did something with a little more white of a background, but very colorful with those stripes. The next one down is a tighter pattern, a smaller pattern with the pink background and the red dashes. And then the next one below that, the orange floral, it's similar to the dash pattern, but it's a little bit more open. And because it's a floral, it has kind of a softer, sweeter feel, which juxtaposes with that teal geometric pattern really nicely. At the bottom, I'm finishing it with a larger or medium scale yellow leaf pattern, and then I go ahead and place that teeny tiny purple floral strip. That's actually a branding strip from one of the papers above that. So, if you want to do something like this, take it slow and just combine the papers one by one, laying them up next to each other and see what you think. That's kind of what I did here, and I love the result. Now the idea is that we're going to have all of this fun, bright color along the left side of the page, and then the right side of the page will be a little more open with that white open cardstock, but I am going to map my photos with colors as well. I tried on a few with the papers in the kit, but I decided to first embellish my page, or at least lay out some die cuts because I think that will help me to select the colors for the photo mats a bit better. I went ahead and looked through the main die cuts from the main kit. That die cut pack is mostly words, smaller icons, phrases about learning, which don't really go with my photo, but I did find the one teal phrase that says, "Life taught me to cherish moments," and I thought that would be perfect for her prom photos. The next thing I did was pull out the floral die cut pack that came in the embellishment kit. Now there's two kinds of florals in that kit. There are some that have the color bleeded all the way to the edge, and then the other half of the kit are these florals with a white offset edge. Because I'm going to be placing these flowers on that busy, colorful pattern paper block, I want them to stand out a bit. So I chose all of the flowers with the white offset edge, and now I'm just working with them to form this floral spray, if you will, along the left edge of my photo. Now I'm working with pieces one by one, just trying to balance the colors. You can see that I put purple in 3 spots. I started with that large purple piece at the bottom, and then as I worked my way up, I have a couple more pieces with the purple. I have 2 pieces with the yellow orange, and now I'm just continuing to build. I haven't stuck those flowers down yet, but I'm at a good point where I feel like I can go ahead and select my photo mat color, which is this light lilac ledger. It almost looks pink, but it is a soft purple color. I really love it. And so I use that for the main photo, and then I'm going to repeat that orange floral and use that to mat my second photo. Now, normally I don't mat my photos with pattern papers, just because I feel like the photo sort of serves as a pattern already. So to put pattern and pattern next to each other can be visually chaotic. However, that teeny tiny orange floral works here and is of course beautiful with and kind of mimics the flowers along the left side as well. So my photos are really dark, and I want to balance that dark, heavy feeling on the left side of the page. So I decided to create these scalloped border strips with a border punch using some navy cardstock. And I'm just going to tuck that underneath the left side of that pattern paper block, and I think that balances the page really nicely. Now, this pattern paper border, or this border punch, I've had in my stash forever. It's created by Stampin' Up, but there's several others out there. I believe that Fiskars makes one. I think there's also one by Dress My Craft. So if you don't own one, I would suggest getting one. That is a pattern I use all the time, and it's just a really fun way to break up the blockiness of the edges, and I really love using it. So now that I have all my florals in place and I'm starting to put the butterflies down and my photos down, I'm looking at these and deciding how I want to add some more dimension. I'm going to pop up that phrase. I'm also going to go back to the florals and lift up the edges of some of them and add some foam tape under the edges, just under the left side, just so that they have a little bit of lift. And the whole piece doesn't have to be lifted up, just here and there throughout that floral cluster, and it looks really, really cute. Now I want to start looking for some more pieces to fill in here. I found this other butterfly and I thought that would look great at the top. Again, it has that navy color and balances the photos a bit up there. And then I've decided that, I think I'm going to add a few more florals so that it stretches down and breaks the boundary of that bottom edge of the block of patterns. So I'm just trying on a few of those florals there, and this is the one that I end up going with, but I do also add some more florals in a couple of places. I will be adding a orange one about where that butterfly or moth is on the bottom, and then I'm also going to come in with a lime green one and add that beneath the little purple, soft purple daisies that are overlapping that pink and red dash strip. So you can see there that I'm going to add in that orange one that I talked about. I think I also add in a pink one just to fill in the space between the orange and purple one. Yeah, so I do that a little bit right there. And then I will also add in a green one by those those little soft purple flowers. I think right here. Yep. Okay, it's like, this is taking a minute. Why am I not adding that flower? But there it is. Okay. So there we go. I love the spray, and I feel like the left side of the page is done, and now I'm ready to start working on a title area for above my photos. I decided to pull in these teeny tiny little envelopes that came in the embellishment kit, and I'm going to layer a couple of these together. I have a larger one that I'm going to put above the large photo, and then I'm going to put a small one to the right of that. I'm almost mimicking the step down of the photos that I did below, so I like that a lot. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple of I try on putting some flowers in the envelope. I've been thinking I might accent them that way, so I pull out all the white edged flowers again, but I'll come back to that in a second. I'll add that dark blue one in the top right corner, and then that little soft purple flower to the right. So I like how that repeats the flowers there in just a little subtle way, carrying that over to the right edge. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to go back down to the bottom of the page, and I'm going to add in a couple of these chipboard phrases. Those are from the main kit. I know I want to add some to the left of the navy flower by the envelopes, but I'm also going to add a few down here to step down and cover that bottom edge of the yellow paper. So I add a few there. The first one I did was a pink one that says, "This gives me heart eyes." And then the second one is a blue one that says, "Feeling 11 out of 10," which, when you're all dressed up fancy for dances, you feel so fancy. So I also go back and decide to pull off the rest of the butterflies throughout the kit. There's a little puffy one and a little tiny chipboard one that I put to the right of that teal phrase. Now I'm going to add a spot for my title and my journaling, and I decide to cut some smaller white cardstock pieces that will be tucked in these envelopes. Now my daughter is currently serving a church mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, so she's not home and she's not here to give me some journaling about what they did at the dance. So I'm just going to only put the title on, and then I'll either have to email her for some journaling or have her do it when she gets home. But I'm going now to my tiny little bits. We have these tiny chipboard pieces from the embellishment kit, as well as some puffy stickers, and I want to just fill in some spots. So I'm putting some tiny hearts to the right of that chartreuse green envelope. I'm also going to put a dark blue heart at the bottom. Unfortunately, I'm off screen when I do that, so you're not going to see that till the closing shot. And then I also want to add a couple of phrases in that blank space above my daughter's photo. So that just fills it in there and actually kind of creates an L shape, cradling that right side of that little mini envelope. The last thing I want to do is dress up my title a little bit more. So I add a little tiny flower to the center of the O. And then I'm looking for another puffy sticker that I can put on the second little piece of paper. I find this cute little orange tab. It works perfectly. And that way someone can pull that out and look at that. I added some teeny tiny flowers to the bottom left corner of the pattern paper block. And then the final thing I did was add a puffy orange dot to that navy flower. And that finishes the page. Hey, thanks so much for stopping by. We'll see you next time.